The score's 104-99. The Lakers decide to run an ISO for Luka, who's matched up against Naz Reid. So far in this series, Luka has been great in that matchup, hitting 50% of his shots in ISO when guarded by Naz. Interestingly, he's only driven to the rim once against him in these situations, and he converted. So, with time ticking, the smart move was to attack Naz. And Luka did just that. He drove hard, got a relatively clean look at the rim, one he usually makes, but this time, it rimmed out. But the real story wasn't the missed layup, it was what happened next. The Lakers' transition defense started in chaos. Reeves was forced to cover both Randle and Edwards at once. But credit to LA, they scrambled back and recovered well, matching up on the fly. That is, until Luka re-entered the frame. Instead of picking up Naz, who was trailing the play, Luka shaded toward Edwards, already being handled by Reeves. That miscue left McDaniels with an easy outlet pass to a wide-open Naz beyond the arc. And if there's one Timberwolf you don't want shooting a transition three, it's Naz. He's been excellent from deep all series long, knocking down threes at a blistering 52.4% clip. That's nearly 7% better than the next best shooter on the team, Julius Randle. And yet the Lakers still held a 2-point lead. But their next offensive possession exposed a subtle flaw that ultimately cost them a chance to score. The play looked like the Lakers were setting up for a Luka ISO against McDaniels, an option that, to be honest, hasn't paid dividends so far in this series. Luka has struggled in this matchup, shooting just 5 for 16 against McDaniels in ISO situations. Definitely not the look you'd want at this point in the game. But just then, LeBron made a smart read, cutting from the weak side. Whether this was called out by JJ or a read LeBron made on the fly, it caught Randle off guard and LeBron beat him cleanly to the rim. Still, two key mistakes unraveled what could have been a great play. First, LeBron made his cut before Reeves had fully cleared the paint. That gave Edwards, Reeves' defender, the chance to rotate over and contest LeBron's shot. What should have been an easy look became a contested one, and it rimmed out. The second mistake was, if that cut by LeBron was indeed part of the designed play, Reeves should have flared out to the weak side wing instead of diving into the lane. That would have cleared the paint entirely, removing the help defender and giving LeBron a clean path to finish at the rim. Neither of those things happened, and the Lakers still held on to a slim 2-point lead. But that one missed opportunity let the Wolves do what they do best, push the pace in transition. It forced a mismatch with Luka stuck guarding Edwards. Edwards wasted no time exploiting it, going right at Luka, drawing contact on a 3-point attempt. 3 free throws followed, and Edwards, cool as ever, knocked down all 3, giving the Wolves a 1-point lead. On the next Lakers possession, they kept it simple. A Luka-LeBron pick-and-roll designed to get Randle switched on to Luka. McDaniels tried to help with a double, but since it wasn't an aggressive trap, Luka was able to calmly make a bounce pass to LeBron. Edwards rotated over, leaving Rui wide open in the corner for an open 3. All from a simple action, a smart read on the defense, resulting in a wide open shot. But once again, the Lakers defense couldn't hold up. The Wolves responded with a clean off-ball set, with DiVincenzo setting a screen for Naz to curl off. Reeves was a step slow on the switch, and that was all the space Naz needed to bury another 3. Brilliant play design by Minnesota, but yet another defensive lapse by LA. Remember how this video opened with Luka going one-on-one against Naz, driving hard to the rim, but ultimately missing a layup. What's more intriguing, though, is the Lakers' decision-making on the very next possession. Despite the success of the Luka-LeBron pick-and-roll on their previous offensive possession, which forced a switch onto Randle, a matchup Luka had been dominating all series long, the Lakers opted not to go back to that same action. Up to this point in the game alone, Luka had gone one-on-one against Randle 4 times and scored on all 4, going a perfect 4 for 4. In the series as a whole, Luka had faced Randle in ISO 9 times and missed just 2 shots. That level of efficiency is exactly why on the last Lakers possession, McDaniels was so quick to double Luka. They didn't want to risk letting Luka go one-on-one against Randle again. And yet the Lakers decided to move away from what had clearly been working all throughout this series. Instead, Luka ends up taking a step-back 3 over Naz, who defends it really well, forcing a miss. Now the Timberwolves are on the break. They run a pick-and-roll between Edwards and Randle, aiming to force a switch to get Finney-Smith off Edwards and draw Reeves onto him instead. But Finney-Smith fought over the screen, denying the switch. Edwards, recognizing this, drifts towards the corner and tries to create space for a shot. Reeves did a good job, stayed tight with him, forcing the miss. But if we rewind a few seconds, there was a chance for Edwards to make a play. As Edwards drove, Rui overcommitted from the strong side. That left McDaniels wide open in the corner, and with how hot he's been from three this series, hitting 42.9%, that could have been an easy 3 points. Instead, the miss keeps the game at 108 to 107, still just a 1-point lead for the Timberwolves. Now let's fast forward to the 142 mark. LeBron makes an excellent defensive play, meeting DiVincenzo at the rim and swatting his shot away. That rejection quickly turned into offense, with Finney Smith knocking down a 3 in transition. Then, moments later, LeBron struck again, this time stripping Naz Reid on a drive. But just when the Lakers seemed to be picking up momentum, the offense stalled once more. On the next trip down, Luka had Naz matched up against him. So far in the fourth, Luka had tried to attack Naz one-on-one and failed both times. Recognizing that, he kicked it out to LeBron, who now had Randle guarding him. But instead of attacking the mismatch off the dribble, LeBron opted for a deep, contested 30-footer over Randle. It clanged off the rim. Another wasted possession with the game still in the balance. The Timberwolves secured the rebound and Edwards pushed the pace. This time, the Lakers tried to trap him with Rui and Finney Smith. Similar to a few possessions earlier, Edwards looked to run down the sideline and escape the double. As Luka rotated over, the Lakers for a moment had 3 defenders guarding Edwards, and that opened up the floor. Edwards found Naz wide open in the paint, who then drew LeBron as the help defender and calmly dished it off to McDaniels. The result was an and one, with Reeves whistled for the contact. A brutal sequence for the Lakers. One poor offensive possession followed by a defensive breakdown handed the Wolves a 1-point lead. Then came the dagger, a turnover on the ensuing inbounds play. And that mistake capped off a stretch of costly possessions that ultimately sealed the Lakers' fate in this game. To their credit, the Wolves executed beautifully down the stretch. They got Naz some clean looks from 3 when they needed buckets, and their awareness in attacking the Lakers' late-game traps was textbook. As I mentioned in my last video, late-game play calling in the playoffs is everything. One smart decision or one bad shot can be the difference between a win and a loss. And in the postseason, with so few games, every win carries massive weight. So we look ahead to Game 5. Will it be another tight finish? And if so, which team will execute better when it matters most? Late-game execution has been a defining theme, not just in this series, but throughout the entire playoffs. So the question looms, can the Wolves close it out, or do the Lakers still have one more fight left in them? But until then, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all your support, and I can't wait to break down more film with you next time.
3-point game, no timeouts for the Lakers. Reid guarding, Doncic looking. James, corner, Reeves, three-pointer, no good. Rebound McDaniels, it's over. The T-Wolves go up 3-1 in the series.